Welcome back to the show. I'm Jennifer Olize, and you're watching Arise 360. Now, Sola Oyebade, popularly known as Mr. Mahogany, is a show producer and event manager. He set up his company, Mahogany International, in 1996. Sola has an immense experience in the fashion industry. For over 20 years, he has worked on numerous shows, events, and productions across the world, including Fashion's Finest, London Fashion Week, African Fashion Week London, GTB Fashion Week, and many others. Here in the studio with me today to discuss the Nigerian fashion industry is Sola Oyebade. Welcome to our Arise studio.
So good to see you.
I was so glad when I heard you were coming. I was like, I know you. It's going to be a wonderful chat.
Oh, definitely.
Like, we love
know the
fashion.
business now.
I know, it's fashion,
Exactly.
the fashion industry. I was like, okay, we're going to kill it.
That's right.
Okay, so welcome to our studio. It's good to have you here. Can you just tell me what you've been doing of late? I mean, with your productions.
Oh, wow. We've been doing a lot.
Okay.
This 30 December was crazy.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I can announce the brands, but we have done some big shows.
Nice.
Big shows. I mean, the Christmas parties this year were like concerts.
Okay.
Honestly, we had one event where we had the big three.
Okay.
We had Asha, we had Lagbaja, we
Asha.
had Two-Face, we
that's
had
amazing.
Omale, we had Consequence. Honestly, it was like, I just thought, wow, this is like doing Coachella in Nigeria.
that's
So there were so
amazing.
many events like that. So we're doing a lot of, Christmas was the music season, so a lot
Okay.
of productions,
Okay.
music-wise, Christmas parties. Before then, it was the fashion season.
Okay.
Or the GD Bank Fashion Weekend, Lagos Fashion Weekend,
Yeah.
you know, all those other shows that went on. And then before then, it was conferences. So it's like the entertainment industry now has
a
like seasons.
schedule. I
Yes.
noticed with fashion, because in November, last year we had LDA, we had Tiffany Amber, we had Lisa Folario,
That's
we
it.
had Future Face Global. It just came up within October to
Between
November.
October to November.
Then, like you said, December
Yes.
is the music time.
That's
I like
right.
that schedule.
Which is-
it
it's
would be
good.
nice for it to actually be a schedule.
But it has become, because I think what's happened now, when you look at the shows, you know when you do London Fashion Week, you
Okay.
have what they call on schedule, which are those that are officially tied to the British Fashion Council.
Okay.
And they do their shows during London Fashion Week. Then you have what they call off
Off-site,
schedule.
yes.
Yes. So Nigeria has now adopted that. So you have those that do directly with LFW. Then you
Yes.
have all the independents like the Mai, he did a
Yes, Mai did
presentation that
one
was
as
beautiful.
well.
You know, you've got Tiffany, you've got Ejiro, you've got all of them doing their own.
Own
So
thing.
it's actually expanding the industry,
amazing.
creating more work, bringing more money into the
love
economy.
it.
And it's beautiful.
Like November, I was out back to back. Every weekend there was a fashion show. Even there were two fashion shows on one day. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Okay, so now, considering like the Nigerian economy, what's happening, inflation and all of that, everyone is saying, no, there's no money. A lot of people are complaining. How come there was so much money being spent in December?
Well, I think, there's two reasons for it being in December in particular. I mean, number one, yes, is that all the artists, particularly music artists, all come back home.
Okay.
All right? Number two, all the IJGBs that I just got backs
Okay.
are now coming to Nigeria because they
Correct.
get to see the artists.
Oh.
So they get to see the artists where they don't necessarily have to go and buy an expensive ticket of £100, £200 or $300.
Correct.
They can come to a party, they will be fed, they'll be watered, and they get to see the artists in a lot of cases free of charge.
I know, right?
Then there's just non-stop partying going on.
It's
you know,
incredible.
and then the second thing is the rate of the exchange.
Okay.
If I'm coming back with £1,000, that's 2 million naira. £1,000 is not that much to save and come back. And with 2 million naira, I'm spending a week or 2 weeks here. I'm gonna have a ball.
Yeah,
So they're just
yeah.
coming back with
No, they
1,000,
did
2,000
have a
and
ball.
just spending and
They
spending
had
and
a
spending.
ball, but I'm happy because it definitely improved our economy.
Yes, it did.
Definitely, I have all the facts and figures coming up soon.
Yes, I mean, I think you might have seen what Fashola said about it. I think he had a very good comment to make about how much, I think he was saying something like 10% of our GDP came in December alone.
I'm telling you,
So,
it's incredible, and we hope for it to keep going on. I mean,
we've got to work on our infrastructure, but if we can get that right, I think it will keep happening.
okay, so you believe it's infrastructure problems?
Yeah, because the thing that can start to put people off from coming back is what's your experience like going through the airport? What is it like with traffic jams and stuff like that? What about safety and security?
Okay.
Also, there was an acute accommodation problem. People couldn't, all the Airbnbs
I heard
and
that.
everything.
I heard that hotels were all booked.
Yes. Don't know. It
That's
was
the hospitality industry was winning. I mean, I'm sure all those hotels that have been dry,
laughing.
I'm like, that's incredible, honestly. Like when I hear things like that, it just makes me smile. Okay, so let's talk about you. You actually have a modeling industry, modeling company as well.
Yes, Mahogany Models.
Nice, where you groom models, upcoming models. What's that running a modeling agency in Nigeria?
Well, in Nigeria, it's challenging.
Okay.
Simply because I think it's about supply and demand.
Okay.
There's far more models than there is work.
Okay.
So it means that those that are involved don't get what I call their true worth. There's jobs, there's work, it's increasing, particularly with the amount of fashion designers and commercials and stuff that we do. It's increasing every single day. So there is work there. But when I know that there's too many models, I'm going to offer you what I want to pay you.
Okay.
So, they don't earn as much as they should earn.
Yeah.
But those that go abroad are doing a lot better.
Correct.
The industry has changed in that we brought in a lot of rules and regulations. We've tried to make things fairer for people. We've tried to ensure that clients look after their models.
Okay.
They don't just treat them anyhow. Because
Yes.
before they could just bring you 2 o'clock, you're still there, then they finish the shoot and they leave you. Nobody bothers to find out how are you getting home.
Okay,
And
okay.
stuff like that. So things are getting better.
Things are getting better. Things are improving.
You work with models yourself, so you know what it's like.
I love the transformation in the modeling industry, and I like the fact that they're getting paid more now, although it's not to the level I wish it to be. But on the other side of being a production person as well, having a large production, I'm sure you really don't have the budget, so you have to cut some costs, and obviously the modeling fee is part of it, which shouldn't really happen.
And I think when you look at it, something like Arise now, they're a major factor in doing that. Because when you do Arise Fashion Week or Fashion Show, whatever the full name, I mean, the good thing with Oga, he increased the money.
Yes.
So it meant that other people that were out there, the 2 big other shows, had to come and be on par.
Exactly.
He put them in great hotels for the whole week.
Yes.
So other people had to start saying, well, if they're doing this and we want to still say we're one of the big boys, we've got to do. So that also has helped with the welfare and how they've looked after models.
Nice. But okay, the modeling industry, this transition, obviously with fashion designers, they're going abroad. We have a lot of successful models as well that have gone abroad. You hear them, Victoria's Secret, Fendi, Chanel, even Chanel. So what do you think it would take for more Nigerians to be able to, diversify globally?
Well, once again, I'm going to unfortunately use this word supply and demand, because when you look abroad, they're not just getting models from Nigeria.
Okay.
They're getting models from literally across the world, the agencies are. And at the moment, those that are really in favor are from Sudan, the eastern part of Africa. They like that pure black, sort of what they would call raw look. Whereas Nigerian models, we're far more prettier.
Yes.
And we have more shape. We're not skinny, we have more body, which they're still insisting that the hip size should be 34. There are very few women that struggle in Nigeria to be a 34. It's hard. It's hard work.
Because of the food we eat.
Because of the food we eat. And naturally, we're curvy. Our women are curvy.
We are. Yes. That's nice. Okay, so now event production. Let's talk event production. Obviously, that's going well, loads of events. But do you feel the challenges in the industry just stops a lot of things to happen? I mean, behind closed doors, we were talking about the sustainability of fashion shows. How long? You hear about a lot of fashion shows, yes, that start eventually well and then stop. Yes. Even music concerts as well. This happened 1 year, 3 years. The cost, the lack of support, obviously. How do you think, when are we going to evolve past that? Because we do need these fashion shows. The government can see that these events are making mileage around the world, right? So how do you think, what's your take on this, and what do you think the government can do? I don't really like involving the government with all this creative work because, they keep making promises and nothing really happens. But they are trying. But what can we do for ourselves
Well, before we go into ourselves, we have to look at the government. If you look
Okay.
at the British Fashion Council, for example, and you look at Italy, you look at France, the government supports the main institution.
Correct.
They support them. I mean, I think the British Fashion Council gets something like £40 million a year, direct and indirect grants from the government. That is what helps them to put on London Fashion Week and to do all the other things that they do with the various designers in terms of trying to bring them up to be world class in terms of what they do.
Nice.
So we do need that. And unfortunately, when we look at the creative space, like we've seen that there's money out there for the creatives, the only industry that they're not supporting is fashion, surprisingly. And I always keep saying to them, and I think another news network abroad said it, that they expect that the biggest earner, more than music and films combined, will be fashion.
Correct.
And what people have to understand is this. You might like a Burna Boy, but not a Davido. I might be the reverse.
Correct.
But we all wear clothes.
Oh.
We all wear clothes.
That makes a lot of
and
sense.
not only that, when we look at our women in terms of wearing clothes,
Okay.
you've gone abroad, you've seen what it's like. Nobody dresses like a Nigerian woman. How many times do Nigerian women repeat their clothes? How many Owambears, weddings, and parties they go to? So they're always looking for that new outfit. So when you look at that, and then you look at our population, it's enormous. But the government hasn't seen it because it's not showy. You know, when you put on a Burna Boy, you put on a concert, it's very showy, and they're all around the world, and everybody's jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But for fashion, it doesn't have that same...
Yes.
It's even when you look at top fashion designers around the world, they don't have that cult status as a music artist.
Correct.
You know, you might see a Beyonce wear stuff and they say, oh, my Beyonce looked great in a so-and-so. But it's still about Beyonce wearing the outfit more than
Not
it is
about
about
the
the
designer,
designer
100%.
that created the outfit. So the next thing that we have to be aware of is do shows that we can afford. I consult a lot with fashion design. I keep saying to them, they have these grand ideas about what they want to do, and they say they want to do it, but I say it's not sustainable.
Correct.
Because we are a culture of you need sponsors to survive. I do London Fashion Week. I don't have one single sponsor from my fashion's finest in the UK. But people buy tickets to attend.
Yes.
And it
There's
pays
a ticket,
for it.
there's a
Yes.
structure.
You've
yes.
got it. That's the
but
difference.
in Nigeria, a lot of people don't like to pay for tickets.
They will not.
They are
will go
always waiting for
Jennifer,
tickets to be sent.
you have ticket. You know now.
I know.
You have done it.
I
you
know
what it is like.
Honestly, I know.
So I'm sort of preaching to the converted here because you know what it's like. So we have to work on that. I don't think we can ever change that aspect, but we have to look at the structure in how we create shows.
Okay.
We have to make sure that they're manageable in terms of their budget, and you build up, and you take your time and you build
Nice,
up.
I like
and then
that.
whether you bring, you try and bring sales as part of your fashion shows, how are you marketing it? Are there people abroad that you can also bring in that will push it? I know the British Fashion Council are really trying to do the British Council
Okay.
are trying to do a lot of work in Nigeria, working with designers now
yes,
and doing more and
they
more
do a
stuff.
lot of film.
Yes.
A lot of film projects.
So that's it. And the film industry is another area that is pushing up fashion, film and theatre.
Oh,
Because they have
nice.
to have costumes.
Correct.
And the way films are coming out. So
Yeah.
fashion is an integral part of our society.
It is. It is. Okay, so what do you think the future of the Nigerian fashion industry is? Because I have high hopes for it. I believe it's already global, but it just needs to expand more. What's your take on this?
It's already growing. It's clear to see, like, we started the conversation talking about all the shows that are taking place, all these off-schedule shows that are now taking place. That didn't happen 3-4 years ago.
Exactly.
So there's more shows, there's more work. The only thing I feel that I'm going to tell designers to watch out for is AI.
Oh.
That could have a
An
traumatic
effect.
effect on fashion shows. But we still
Correct.
like to see things live.
Yeah.
We want to see how the material flows as a model walks down the catwalk
Yes,
and stuff.
yes.
So it's definitely going to grow. I keep telling people, those that can stick it out in the fashion industry, in the next 5 to 10 years are going to make an absolute fortune. They will make more money than music artists. I'm very, very confident
Oh,
about
you
it. Without
think
a
so?
shadow of a doubt.
Wow,
Don't
because
forget,
the
we haven't-
music artists are making a lot
Yes,
of money.
but we haven't commercialized our stuff. How many Primarks and Selfridges and Macy's do we have in Nigeria? We haven't even started that side of the business yet. Can you imagine when we start to open up stores that we're opening up 4 or 5 stores that are selling clothes, then we start to make mass production.
Exactly.
Ready to wear.
Of course.
Ready to wear, the biggest market for ready to wear is second-hand clothing.
Nice.
That's not going to last forever. At some point, people are going to say, I want to move out of buying second-hand clothes. I want to buy Nigerian-made, ready-to-wear. But can we meet the demand?
Exactly.
And that's what we have to prepare for.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, imagine during the Dirty December period with the amount of millions of people that came in. Imagine if we had loads of stores.
Thank you.
That, you know, like you said, the Selfridges and even the Primark as low as that. And they are coming in to just even buy Ankara. See, listen, I just feel that everything needs to be intentional. We can't just be letting things to flow and just happen. It needs to be planned. Like how this Dirty December is happening now. You know, it's just randomly.
I think it, yes.
Yeah, but we need to
happened.
start planning.
Yes.
Like for the future of fashion in Nigeria, we need to actually plan. I was going to ask, are there any associations or anything about that?
We don't. You know, I
they,
really
like,
wish we had like the Nigerian Fashion
Council.
Council.
Because with film, they have associations.
They have
Okay.
And what do they call it? Fashion and designers, something of Nigeria.
Okay.
That Fadan. It's there, but it's not taken on. It's not grabbed the fashion industry and own it.
I feel we need to be part of an association.
Or they should have something like a Nigerian Fashion Council.
Yes.
But who leads it? How do we stop infighting? You know, how do we...
You can lead it. I mean, 20 years in the industry, that experience is wonderful. I mean, okay, unfortunately, we run out of time, but thank you so much, Mr. Sola, for joining us and sharing your thoughts, your 20 years experience with us. That was incredible.
Thank you.